Hey guys, and this is Tifel Malti, and today I'm here with May 2014's gaming PC build. So as you can see, I have switched to Windows 8 and I am using Windows 8.1. Since my previous version, which was Windows 7, I kind of got malware, and with the malware my CPU was being used 100%. Now I know why it is being used 100%, because I'm not using fraps. I had a bit of problems with it. It was not recording the explorer.exe file, so I quickly went on Google and found this MonVI video suite, and I am using this one for this video, and in Task Manager it is using my processor 100%, so at least I know what is using my processor that much. And with the malware that I got in Windows 7, the system idle process, the file of Windows, let's just say people who are into tech should know this, that system idle process is just a process Windows has for when you're not using your CPU. It starts making small commands for the CPU to do, because your CPU can never do anything while it's on. It has to all the time do processes. It's supposed to do tiny processes, and not, for example, the thing that was happening for me, the CPU was being used all the time by system idle process 90%, and only 10% was being left for me to use in other applications. So now I am going to start with the parts for this build. So for the CPU, I went with the AMD FX-6300 3.5 GHz, and it's a 6-core processor. So this is a very budget CPU. You have the fan included with it, as you can see in the photo, CPU, paperwork, batch sticker, and the box which comes with it. So technically that's about it for the CPU. As you can see, it takes only 95 watts of power, and it's a 6-core. The socket is AM3 Plus, and I already told you it's 3.5 GHz. So the next part for our build is the motherboard. So with for the motherboard, I went with the Asus M5A78L-M USB 3. This is a micro ATX motherboard, and obviously it has the socket for the CPU is AM3 Plus, with the same as the CPU. As you can see, this is the rear I/O for the motherboard, PS2, a pair of USB 2.0, HDMI digital out, and VGA DVI, a pair of USB 3.0 Ethernet, another pair of USB 2.0, and yours onboard sound. So next is the motherboard from view top, and as you can see, you have 4 RAM slots. So although it's a micro ATX, you still have 4 RAM slots. This is the PCI Express slot, 24-pin power cable, and the extra 4-pin for the CPU power. And over here you can see all your SATA, and also this motherboard has USB 3.0 since it's part of the model. As you can see, USB 3. And the USB 3.0 is over here. These are the USB 3.0 which is located on this motherboard. And there is also written over here USB 3.0, as you can see. And that's about it for the motherboard. Let me see. This is another photo which I found. It says the AM3 Plus CPU socket, and that's about it for the motherboard. Let's go for the next part of our build, which is the RAM. So for the RAM, I chose lately it's being used a lot, which is the G.Skill Ripjaws X series 8GB kit. So I managed to find a photo of exactly the kit that you would buy for this build, which is this model F3-14900CL9D-8GB XL, because each stick is 4 gigabytes, so you'll have 4 and 4 gigs. This RAM is clocked to 1866 megahertz, so it's pretty fast enough for gaming, and it's a very stable RAM, because lately, as I already said, lately a lot of people have been using it, except Corsair. I still have to find why they stopped using Corsair lately, but if a lot of people are using this and I saw a lot of positive reviews about it, I don't think it's gonna let you down, and that is what I chose for the RAM in this build. And obviously it is the DR3. Today you're not gonna go with the DR2 for gaming. So next part in our build is the hard drive. So for the hard drive, I chose the Western Digital RE4 1TB hard drive. So I went with a little bit different version of a hard drive. It is slightly faster, and it's supposed to give you more performance in gaming. I went in a bunch of reviews and they said that a lot of people saw slight differences in game load times when they used this hard drive instead of the standard Caviar Black. So this is the hard drive. It's still 64 megabytes of cache, 7200 rotations per minute, and it's 3.5 inch, and it's a 1 terabyte, as I already told you. So here's the another picture of the hard drive, and that's about it for the hard drive. So next part, which is the graphics card. Okay, so the part which you've been all waiting for most probably. I went with the MSI GeForce GTX 760 4 gigabytes. Yes, I went with a 4 gigabytes card, and the thing is that there was today on May 23rd that the 4 gigabyte and the 2 gigabyte, the 4 gigabyte card was only $20 more expensive than the 2 gigabyte card. The same price, only $20 was different. Everything is the same, the core clock speed is the same, just that the RAM of this is 4 gigabytes and the other version was 2, and I think you'd rather go for 4 gigabytes, meaning having more RAM to be able to play, for example, 4K, if you want to play 4K, but this card could handle it, but not highly intensive games like Crisis 3. I don't think this card can be able to handle Crisis 3 in 4K. But like, let me just say, like Skyrim and maybe Far Cry 3, you would be able to play them with this card 4K on single monitor. So that's about it for the graphics card. It has twin FROZR cooling, and it's been made by MSI. So MSI made good things, and it's not gonna let you down. This photo is how the cooling is made for the card. As you can see, there's the core clock, this metal, which sticks the cooling to the card, so the pipes of the cooling won't touch the parts on the board of the card, and as you can see, this is the part of the fans of the graphics card. So okay, for the next part of our build, which is the power supply. So I went with the Corsair CX600 watt 80 plus bronze certified semi-modular power supply. So it's a very standard power supply. Everyone uses Corsair power supplies in their budget builds, because the thing is that they are cheap but not cheaply made. That's the important thing when buying a power supply. The power supply is the part which you need to be very careful on buying. You need to make sure that you're buying a good branded power supply, and also having a good efficiency will help you in your electricity build. Although this build is only 600 watts, the maximum it can go, although estimately I kind of calculated all the power. If you're using this build full, you're only gonna use about 450 watts of power. I still didn't go with a 500 watt power supply because there was only about $5 difference between the 500 watt power supply and the 600 watt power supply on this date, 23rd May 2014. And I don't think you would go for a 500 watt power supply if you just pay $5 extra and you get more performance and for a very cheap amount. So and as I already said, Corsair make good power supplies, and a lot of people use these for their budget builds. So as I already said, it is semi-modular, so the 24 power pin cable is by force coming out of the power supply. The rest of the cables, the extra power for the CPU, the power for the RAM, no, not the RAM, excuse me, for the graphics card, the power for the DVD drive, whatever you would like to put extra on this build, the let me just think, the hard drive, SSD, all those are modular, so you can remove the extra ones that you have. So next in our build, it's the case. I went with the NZXT Source 210 black ATX mid tower case. So this case can be used for a mini ITX board and an mini ATX board, excuse me, and a ATX board. So in this case, we're going to be using this case for a mini ATX board. Excuse me again. Oh my god! And the case, and here's the picture of the case, and this is the case from outside. Power button, restart button, side from where the fan, side for a fan, and this is the case in action being used. As you can see, this is a very similar motherboard to the one that I chose. It's mini ITX. Next is the case in front. So you can see you have a jack plug for your headphones, microphone, single USB 3.0 and single USB 2.0. Okay, thank you very much for watching this video. Like it if you liked it, dislike the video if you disliked it, leave a comment if you have any problems. Hopefully I will be able to upload more after June, because now I am busy with school, and by the end of June, I lost like 3 days, I think I will be able to upload June's PC build. So this is why I kind of uploaded May's PC builds today. I found a bit of time and I finished it, and here it is. I'm just gonna now edit it and upload it. So thank you very much for watching and supporting me today. I am pretty excited because when I went to see how much subscribers I have, I almost have 3,000 subscribers. So thank you all for supporting me, and if it wasn't for you guys, I wouldn't be here doing videos each month. So thank you very much. At this moment, as I am seeing from my phone, I have 2,924 subscribers. Thank you very much, and I would see you next month for next month's build.